Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Euroman Movie Report, the show where I talk about a movie I have recently watched at my local movie theatre. This week I'm going to talk about the Childsplay remake. And being born in 1981, I obviously didn't get to see the many horror movies which was made in that decade. And many of these horror movies turned into franchises. One franchise was Friday the 13th, another franchise was Nightmare on Elm Street, and a third franchise was, of course, Childsplay. Childsplay, the first film from the early 1980s, was about that we had these dolls where one of them was possessed by this serial killer, voiced by none other than Brad Dourif. The guy who, ultimate bad guy in many films in the late 80s and early 90s. And this was basically that his spirit was in this doll and it started to kill people. And the doll was named Chucky. And that original movie spanned a lot of sequels and direct-to-video movies and so on and so on. And now they have remade Childsplay, but Chucky's origin is of course changed. And you ask yourself, why has this origin been changed? Oh, maybe they want a fresh take on the story. I have another hunch, because today's movie producers, they would like, or they will very much like to sell their movies in China. And in China, movies which contains supernatural elements are banned, and the original Child's Play films, they, as I mentioned, they contained supernatural elements because we had the spirit of that serial killer possessing the doll and so on and so on. So now they went and changed the origin of Chucky in the new film. So I guess it's because of those who made the film, they want to market it or sell it in China. If they didn't, I didn't read that specifically, but I have an idea that could be the reason why they have changed the origin of Chucky. And of course, the origin of Chucky is that the movie begins in Vietnam, where we have this production facility where these dolls' body are constructed, and there's this Vietnamese guy who is about to lose his job, and I didn't quite get it if he had been dumped by his wife as well, that he removes this safety chip from one of the body dolls, and the safety chip, or without the safety chip, the doll turns evil. And later in America, there's this kid who lives together with his 30-something mom, and he is a bit down because we get a hint that his dad maybe left them or is dead or something like that. And then the mom, she works at this store where these body dolls are sold, and one of them, wink wink, is the doll that the Vietnamese man tampered with earlier in the film, because she gets a hold of it because there's this family which returns the doll. She works in customer service, the mum of the main character, and he says, "Oh, I don't want this doll because the hair color is ginger, and when we turned it on, its eyes were red." Dun, dun, dun. And then she, of course, say, she wants to bring joy to her son's life, so she brings home the doll. And her son, he boots up the doll, and the doll is voiced by Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker. And you of course know that if something is voiced by Luke Skywalker, like for instance the Joker from Batman the Animated Series, then get rid of it because it will turn into something very bad. And the movie, of course, contains a lot of horror movie cliches, and there's a reference to the original movie because when the kid, he boots up the body doll, he asks what its name is and what name it wants to be called, and then the doll says, Chucky! And then I guess that's a good reference to the original film, even though the doll in this movie officially is called Buddy. And yeah, it is a bit, as I said, it is a horror film. It is a slasher film, so it's bloody. And there's even a scene where the lead character and his friends, they watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which of course is another franchise which spanned from the late 1970s through the 80s and the 90s. And yeah, is this a good film? If you miss, or if you specifically connect Chucky to Brad Dourif's voice, then you'll say, oh no, that's not the real voice of Chucky. But I must say, Mark Hamill, he does a very good job voicing this creepy doll. And in many ways, it's somewhat gorish, this movie here, but it's more, in my opinion, a Robert Rodriguez style of gore than other more horrible films or more gorish films we have seen in the later years. So if you like horror, and if you like horror with horror movie cliches, and if you can watch a Child's Play movie without the doll being, or Chucky, let's call him that, because that's his name, being voiced by Brad Dourif, I think you're gonna enjoy Child's Play. And the movie, of course, sets up for a sequel, because the Chucky dolls, or Buddy dolls as they call them, is produced by this last corporation, if you like. If you merged Walmart, Tesla and Amazon into one giant company called Kaplan, if I remember correctly, and they produced drones, cars, and the dolls. There's the Body 1, Body 2, and Body Bear, and we briefly see the Body Bear because Chucky is able to activate the other dolls, the other body dolls in the story at the end of the film, and one of these is the Body Bear, and it's brutal, to say the least. So all in all, if I'm gonna rate Child's Play the remake, it isn't original, but the voice by Mark Hamill is good, because he is a good voice actor, and the movie sets up for a sequel, so I'm gonna give it 2.8 out of 5 stars. That's it, Euroman of Euroman's Movie Report. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, if you like this movie talk / movie review, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to watch my previous reviews / movie talks, you can click a link in the description, which will take you to a playlist of previous reviews / movie talks. And on a side note, I have been busy for a while teaching. I teach math part-time, as Professor Jones would say. So I haven't been... I haven't had the time to update this channel, but I hope to be able to do that regularly in the near future. So all in all, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video review. Bye for now.